So we are going to follow the process as if we were a guitar. I'm going to pretend like I'm a guitar, and Blair here is going to lead us through the first part of the mill, the wood mill specifically. We're going to go in a couple of different sections, but we're going to start where it basically the guitars start with the wood mill.
All right, this is where the magic of the wood mill happens, baby.
The smell in here
Yes.
is incredible.
A little maple syrupy.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got some roasted maple going on, so when we're sanding that, pancakes, butter, coffee.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Wow.
So this is really the big loading station over here. Raw lumber comes in from all over the world. Sometimes we got to really buy, get it when it's hot, stuff like swamp ash and other woods. We'll go through that. This is the first machining that really happens with our really raw lumber here. Goes through our big planer, and then it comes out nice and smooth on this side, So we got the roughness to the smooth, and then we start chopping it up with our chop saw.
Wow.
Running it through the joiner, shaper, to then be glued up in our Tailor clamps there for our body blanks. And so
wow. Okay.
once the body blanks are glued up, and then we kind of do another little cleanup, sanding, and make them smooth, and then we stack them over there in our big inventory that way. And yeah, we can make our way over that way. I'll show you where the Honduran mahogany came from. So this is where we'll stack up neck blanks for through necks, blah, blah, blah. We're using a lot of wood, which is great. This was stacked to the brim a few days ago. So we got basswood, ash. That's what you're seeing a lot of glued up in there to come out. Ash, akume, roasted alder has been a really big one for the kaizens lately. And then I love that you love heavy bodies.
I do. Because
so many people just want the lightest body they can get.
Yeah, that's funny. The very first guitar I ever got from you guys, I told Tim, hi Tim, that I wanted a heavy guitar, and he said to me, I said, no. If you think it's too heavy, if you think something is overly too heavy and not usable, I want that one.
My man.
That's the one I want.
And that's why this is our Honduran mahogany section right back there. We have like 2 or 3 blanks left because most people just can't take it. They don't want it.
Wow, okay, well I do.
And I love it too.
Can I pick this up?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Look at this.
So this is black limba, and really it's Carina that has been, really what it is it's kind of diseased or aged, like kind of asphalted. A lot of what does it is wormholes going through. Has a really cool aesthetic.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we're making a lot of fun stuff out of it. But the old Gibson Carina Explorers and stuff, that would be like this section. And then to make it black limba, it's just got this kind of fun figure in it.
That is so cool.
Yep, and let me grab a... So this is a Honduran mahogany blank, which the fluff guitars are made out of. I love this wood. It's very pretty. It's nice and dense. It has all those tonal qualities. I love it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Right?
This is perfect.
Yeah, it is. It is. I like heavy guitars. So anyway, so that's the body blank section.
Cool.
Yeah, so we had to do a little detour this way. But then we'll take us back over to the tops area, which is kind of fun, and then we'll loop back.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Yep. So yeah, raw lumber. The mahogany for your bodies is from Honduras, Honduran mahogany. It's got that beautiful.
Now, are you guys sourcing your wood literally? Are you constantly looking for wood sources? Or do you have set suppliers that you work with, or both?
Good question. It's a little bit of both. You could talk to Tomas about that, who you'll be talking to soon. Cool. And he's always scouting for new vendors and new people to work with. Sometimes with things like swamp ash, excuse me, thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes with things like swamp ash, it's kind of a get it while it's hot deal because it's from the south there and it's around swamps and it's that type of ash, which is a great tone wood that we all love. And it's got that great grain structure. So it is a little bit of everything. So let's swing back here for one moment to the top area. This is kind of fun. Get some good shots in here. So
Wow.
got all sorts of stuff from Buckeye Burl to spalted maple, flame maple, quilt maple,
Yeah.
flilt maple. We talk about once in a while. Yeah, a little bit of flame, a little bit of quilt. So this wood is really beautiful. What it is when it, in that form, it's from the burl of the tree. So the very.
Is it like scar tissue, basically?
So there's spalted, which means that it actually is in a way diseased. Like they actually just let it kind of rot and get very, very moisture ridden and everything. These are from the burl of the tree. So that's what's in the ground sprouting the tree up. And so it's this wild, very tight knit grain structure that has a lot of voids and is very delicate, but is just so cool. All the voids that you see, we fill up with, special types of epoxy and everything for the structural integrity, but we still get the beauty out of it.
That is amazing. Wow.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yep. So all sorts of thicknesses, fun stuff. Thought we'd just pop by here for a moment.
Cool.
Check that out. So this is a example of spalted, like I was talking about.
Yes.
So this would be kind of the disease that you're seeing. And really, it's basically rotted wood is what it is, but it's just so cool. So everything from wormholes to too much moisture to age produces this aesthetic. So here we have Gerard here binding one of our beautiful Axis bodies in the classic way. He's fitting it up to get it just right.
Wow.
The binding process is fun. We form it up in a water heat bath, PVC, sometimes ABS. So when it's all said and done, you'll see that he can take that fixture from here after it's wrapped up with the glue on it, and then you can just let it set in here for a while.
How long does it take for it to be ready to take all the banding off?
The binding glue is very quick setting. Within a couple hours, the structural integrity is totally there.
Okay.
Yeah, same with the wood glue. And it's this nice flexible type of glue, the binding glue, to where over time as your wood moves around and sets into your type of playing, the binding doesn't delam because of that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, very fun. So here's little pieces of the tops we were looking at before. All those voids I was talking about with the epoxy. So Gerard specially hand picks them to fill the voids and then epoxies them in to fill it. So there's even more structural integrity and it looks prettier than a big black spot,
That is so cool.
Yeah, kind of fun. This is where we hang our through necks when the fretboards are ready to be glued on. Similar situation. We have these glue up calls that have a slight angle so that when the glue sets, it actually has the forebow needed.
Okay.
So that the truss rod adjustment works properly and the action works well. Yeah, very dialed in for the Majesties in that regard. So our through necks, how we place the fretboard on, that's the fixture and the glue up process.
Wow. Do you play 8-string guitar?
I don't even know if I can play a 6-string guitar.
You know what? Same, man. Same.
No, it's fun. The 8-string and the fan frets recently have been a lot of learning involved, a lot of good stuff and heavy engineering.
Wow.
Drew Montel, the wizard. It's been fun to make them. Everyone's been having fun playing them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, here's a cool example of the fan frets. So the multi-scale length for 8-string guitars, I mean, you got to have fan frets or the tension just gets all out of whack, right? So it's been kind of fun. You'll see over there on our other fret slotters and the gang saw where these can't just be cut in a straight line all at the same time. So we got a high-speed spindle that's been fun.
Cool.
Cool stuff.
All right.
Engineering nerd stuff.
We like nerdy stuff here.
All right. Awesome. Keeping it moving. Very good. Excellent. So we got some belt sanders here. Yeah, so let's start. Let's just snake down. Let's go this way. Sorry about that. I'm leading you guys all around.
No, it's all good.
So for our bolt-on necks, this is where the same type of glue-up process happens to achieve forebow. We put them in these type of calls here that have a slight angle to them.
Okay.
So when the glue sets, they all come out with a little bit of bow, which is just right for that playability.
Oh.
And so these are our tailor clamps for the necks here.
Right,
so
right.
we clamp a few in at a time. We have these nice planks that come into us already like this for the neck blanks, which is
Cool.
very advantageous for
Yeah.
many reasons. So we can fit a bunch on. This thing indexes, so we can fit all sorts of stuff and keep production rolling.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Really pretty matched up neck blanks and fretboards. So the truss rod will be installed in these guys, of course,
right.
before. And so it's very important to match up which fretboard, like on your roasted figured neck, you got to make sure which one goes with which.
Literally,
Otherwise the figure's all over and...
you guys go so far as to make it look like it's literally one piece.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
That's crazy
what I
to me
wanna
that you
hear.
guys are sitting here kind of...
It's, yeah, we locate it with a dowel and get it just right. Because it really does affect the look when the figure's off. It
Sure.
just doesn't look quite right, you know? And that also
Wow.
goes for if we have to plane these down too far, that can also throw it off to where,
right.
you know, just not, it's an ebony board now, you know?
Yeah.
So here's some beautiful rosewood, some beautiful ebony. We've been really trying to utilize more smoky ebony lately with a few of the...
I love that.
Yeah, it's so pretty and cool. And why throw away more trees than we have to? So,
Yeah, wow.
yeah.
This is really beautiful.
Cool. Right on. And then moving on. This is more just inventory and kind of
Wood.
ugly. Yes. This is where you can go hide and take a nap right here. There's an umbrella. So there's some ash blanks being glued up.
Cool.
Majesty headstocks are done right here. Certain inlays are installed here. This is a very
cool.
This is a Majesty specific area for that
Cool.
because the through necks are so kind of out of the norm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of fun stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. Here we go. We got a bunch of headstocks being glued up in the fun kind of carousel of headstock. So the scarf joint that we do on our through necks really helps with that structural integrity there.
Oh.
You know, we've all seen the guitars that fall over and the headstock blasts it off. This helps with a little more structure there.
I did not know you guys did this joint on this neck.
Yeah, and that's yeah, you'll see it on some through necks that way, some set necks that way. It's really a preference thing.
Sure.
But as far as the structural integrity of it, I think it really helps it out.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, super neat. That's another good sign. Like if you can't see the glue line, then hey, all
Didn't know
good,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. What's happening, Jared? All right, so we're getting into kind of more fun parts now where these are our big robot cells that we've implemented over the last, it's been about 10 years now.
Wow.
I actually reached 10 years here this month. So it's been a really fun ride. One of my first projects was helping get this cell going.
Okay.
So this is our body cell. This can run lights out. You stack up your rack right there with the raw body blanks in that form we were looking at earlier, like what you see here. And we can do about, depending on the model and how much carving, can do about 30 bodies a night and 30 during the day. 10-hour shifts here.
And when you say it can run lights out, you mean it doesn't have to be attended.
Correct.
You guys can go home,
Correct.
turn literally the lights out, and it'll just keep going.
That's correct. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, we have cameras on it and of course
Okay.
sprinkler systems if anything goes bad. But yeah, it's been a real powerhouse for us in terms of productivity without needing personnel here. So I'm hoping that we'll swing back so you can get some footage of when it starts to drill it.
Cool.
The drills that you're seeing here, that's a fun thing to watch and
That's really cool.
yeah, it helps with the labor big time with all
course.
the drilling. I
Sure.
mean, you know, it's funny. You think just drilling a guitar body and some wood, but if you got to do that 100 times a day, that's a lot. It's a lot of force, right?
Yeah, no
You know?
thanks.
Yeah. Get those. Awesome. So we got a few CNCs here. Here's the fan fret high-speed spindle I was telling you about.
Wow.
So because the frets can't be in a straight line and done all at the same time for that reason, we recently got a high-speed spindle. That thing's spinning at about 40,000 RPM, and that means it can cut very quickly. Before we got this spindle, one of these fretboards would take about, I think it was 15 or 16 minutes. Now it's about 2 minutes. So
Whoa.
pretty soon. Yeah. more nerd stuff. That's fun.
Well, spread out over a bunch of guitars. I mean, that's a huge savings.
Absolutely.
And time is literally money, everybody.
Correct. Yep. So that's a really cool tool. It's actually powered all by compressed air to make it spin that fast.
What?
We hook it up through that tube. Yeah, pretty fun.
Oh.
So the spindle that usually turns from the motor on this machine, when you're using this air spindle, the spindle is not turning. It's just air
Wow.
kicking that little collet around to spin that tiny, tiny, tiny cutter.
I did not know that.
Yeah, super
That's
fun.
incredible.
Really fun. So this is our neck robot cell. Very similar deal to the body cell. We can run lights out. This has barcode scanning technology, RFID technology, PLC system. Very complex deal here because
yeah, I believe you.
because the manufacturing of necks is far more complex than the body. So
Yes, it is.
so here's another operation right here. So after the truss rods are glued in, it needs to be fly cut back to smooth again so that the fretboards can be glued on.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's fun. So when I first started here, we started getting these Haas machines. We were moving away from our old Fadal machines over here, which are still fantastic workhorses for us. They're about as old as me, 30-ish, so that's, they're doing fine, yeah. So yeah, let's swing over this way and kind of show you guys what's going down. Here we go, we got the swinger situation. So this is our swinger tool here and fixture and our gang saw. This is how we achieve any radius that we want. So you see here, this has 10-inch and different swingers. You can go 12, 15, and you pivot, move it up, adjust. Yeah, it's a crucial part of our manufacturing. And this is another really old machine that's it just has stood the test of time, and it's a really fun mechanism.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is the gang saw. So after it's done being swung, we hook it up onto here and it cuts all the fret slots at once.
Oh.
So it went from about 10 seconds to what I was telling you, 15 minutes over there. And so that's why we had to get the spindle.
Are things like this custom made for you guys?
Yes. Yeah, and we maintain the accuracy and quality of that saw specifically. This is by far the tightest tolerance we have in this entire shop because it's so important for our intonation.
Of course.
And the interesting thing with where to put frets on a guitar of any type is it has to be an absolute measurements, meaning the nut is your absolute 0 point.
Yeah.
And then everything from there needs to be referenced. So it can't be like, you know, it's pretty good from there and there. It's got to be dead on from right at the nut or it's all over.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. So here's Ian about to swing a neck. He's checking the forebow situation here, seeing how much more forebow might need to be put into it. That's another thing that we accomplished with this tool. And we have a nice 150 or 100 grit belt going there to clean up inlays, achieve the radius that we like, make sure we have the forebow that we need, and so the fretters have it all dialed in for them for the final fret install. You drop it on slow. Look at the finesse. Ian's one of our best here. Excellent. It's therapeutic to watch it sometimes.
That's amazing.
You know? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. There's many different ways guitar companies do this very operation.
Yes.
It gets, I'm fascinated by all of them. There's a lot of schools of thought, of course, on how to fret a guitar well, you know, and Music Man takes that very serious.
Are most of the workers guitar players?
They are. They are, yeah.
Or bassists?
Yeah, and if they're not, they're very interested, or drummers. If you know any drummers, let me know, by the way.
All right.
They're hard to find out here. All I know is guitar players. You know, most of us do play. Most of us here are avid players, and we rely on them for their feedback of the quality of our instruments as well to make sure we maintain the standard that we need.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so After that, it comes to the final sanding bench here. So we have many different radius blocks, same deal with all the swinger tools. So they get it just right before the final fret install here. So catching Alan in the act. What's up, Alan? Hope you don't mind just watching you install one or two. So sometimes we get fret wire pre-cut for us in the lengths that we need and the radii that we need. Other times we have to get it off a coil, bend it to the radius that we need for whatever neck we're making. One of the masochistic sides of Music Man, if you will, is we love our stainless steel fret wire here.
Yes,
I believe that we are the only manufacturer that mass produces stainless steel fretted guitar necks. And there's good reason other companies are not doing that.
It destroys tooling.
It is. It's very difficult. It's extremely unforgiving. The radius needs to be just right on the neck and the fret wire of stainless. Otherwise it won't behave and you'll have voids and you'll have high frets, or can lead to all sorts of problems downstream. So we take the fret jobs very seriously here. This is the start of it. Thank you, Alan. Beautiful.